Today on Cityline, it's home day, and Colin and Justin are here talking personal design style.
It's all about understanding who you are and how you interact with your space.
It's a topic the guys are excited to discuss.
I'm glistening and moistening up as we speak.
Then the BroLaws are here talking flooring, and I'm putting it in terms we all understand. You want to wait till that glue's a little bit tacky. It's like the false eyelashes if anyone uses them. You wait till it's tacky and then you put them on.
Same here.
Same. And later, roll up your sleeves, because we've got a trending DIY project. So I should just be going for it.
Exactly.
I would if I wasn't wearing this cute coat.
It's Cityline with Tracy Moore.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Thursday. Now, we talk a lot about style on Cityline, whether it's how to develop your style in fashion or how to develop your style in decor. So today we want to tackle, what do you do when you know your style, but you don't know how to translate that into your home decor? We've got answers for you. Please welcome our design duo, Colin and Justin. They're back! High five, hug.
Good to see you. Feeling the love.
Been forever, and I'm always so happy when you come back to this side of the country so we can hang out and talk a little bit. Now, they're busy and we don't get to see them because you've got like 3 places that you stay in, right? You've been out east with your hotel, which has been incredible. And your style is sort of changing based on where you are.
Changing to an extent, Tracy, but we still hold dear to our typical values.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
But, you know, when you suddenly have this tri-point existence,
Yeah.
you know, so we're in the city at our condo, we're up in Halliburton at our cottage, and we're way out on the East Coast at the hotel.
Yes.
You know, you think, okay, well, we want to be in our spaces, our individual homes. We want them to bring out the best in us. But we have to ask ourselves, who are we in these spaces? And it led us to think, oh, my goodness, if we can actually put it down on paper, that we can create a design that brings out the best in us, then surely we can share that information with everyone at home so that they can look at their spaces and say, okay, I want to be this person in this environment. This is how I'm going to do it.
I love it. So the existential questions brought down to everything on this table.
Exactly.
It's distilling it all down.
I love this. It looks like a vase, but it's actually a question of being.
It's a way of life,
That's
Tracy.
very deep.
It's funny, when we look at our city condo, it's not just about the things that are in it. It's about everything that we see from the windows when we look out. So we're going to talk about the 3 different versions of how we live. But in Toronto, we look out our windows and we see the throbbing metropolis. We see the urban sprawl. We see the twinkling skyscrapers and all that glass and concrete. And I really like that. It's not everything, but I really like that.
I like it too.
I think so.
I like driving down the Gardner. Like, we're in Toronto here, and that's what we're talking about.
Feel
and a lot of
alive.
people feel like it's concrete jungle. I feel alive.
We see lights, Tracy, and we see different people doing different things. Every twinkling light represents another soul in this city doing their best to be part of the bigger picture.
Teardrop.
Well, I know. I am glistening and moistening up as we speak.
I'll go get him up in a bucket.
Can someone quickly mop me down?
Yeah, clean that up,
But the
please.
Cityline, the city thing for us is so important, and it's a really clean backdrop that we have. We have a big condo, a couple of thousand square feet, and we painted it all white. And then we accessorized and layered in our life, piece by piece, after that, to represent everything we are.
Beautiful. And this is sort of representing this city decor that we have right here.
Exactly that. You know, we've got this great white oak charcoal by 12 oaks, rather, flooring here. And we're starting off with a dark floor. You know, start from the ground up, work your way up. And I find that dark colors, you know, it's like gravity. We always put darker colors near the floor. Just feels better. You want to get some stone into that as well. This is Empire Black by Caesar Stone. And you can see it's got that beautiful veining on it. It's super sexy and exciting. A lot of glass is going to be good in your scheme as well. You know, talking about the whole skyscraper thing, as Justin said. You know, and it can be vintage. These are beautiful little kind of silvered glass there that were a gift from friends of ours. And we just love that. You know, we love the idea of having cocktails. That's something you do in the city, you know. So think about who you are in the city. You know, do you go to restaurants all the time? Is it about nightclubs? Is it about your friends? And create a space that's right for that.
But you also have to, you've got to get the backdrop right as well. And I think the key point in any decorative scheme is paint. This is White Dove by Benjamin Moore. Now, it's got a slightly cloudier take than a pure white. It's certainly not cream. It's definitely still in white territory.
Yeah.
But that colour allows the whole expansive qualities of a pure white with a slightly warmer undertone. Nice. We spend a lot of time in retail, Tracy. We love shopping. And every time we go out, it's not just to look at lovely things, it's to touch them and to feel them and to understand how the application of one item could potentially better our lives. Lots of the product that you're seeing here you can find in great value stores like HomeSense and Winners and Marshalls. And when you buy a cushion, I mean, we've talked about this till the cows come home, the chop factor. It's so important that a cushion yields to your body rather than pop back up the minute you touch it.
You want that good quality,
You want
right?
to get your hands in there and squeeze and feel that texture. And that's a lovely piece of balance to the kind of the sharper note of city life and the Teutonic nature of black and white.
Well, speaking of that, we're moving into your cottage life. So this is who you are in Halliburton.
Yeah, exactly. This is us with mud on.
Yes.
Okay,
this is dirty.
This is where we get down and dirty in the cottage. Exactly. You know, that's the thing. You know, you're bringing logs in for the fire. You're out there shoveling snow. It's a different existence. And I think, you know, your home life should actually reflect that. So it is all about texture. You want rewarding, beautiful textural elements like the throws there. Loads of timber. You're in the forest. It is so Canadian. So you want to bring that into your home as well. And I love getting kind of like beautiful pieces like this. You know, this was from HomeSense, but it looks like tree bark. So when you bring in nature to your space, and it might be in a texture, in a color, or even like in an image, it could be a beautiful painting or something you have on the wall. That does something for you, you know, and especially if you're maybe in the city and you're starved in nature, but you think, no, I am nature boy or girl, and I want to have that in my daily existence. So think about how you're going to do that. Lots of great timber. Leather as well, you know, get some heavy leathering in there.
I think a lot of us like to have a bit of a mix, and a lot of us learned that during the pandemic as well. Now, speaking of your cottage existence, you actually have a whole magazine called Cabin. So they have brought down. This is all about existing in the wilderness or in the woods, in the forest, in the rustic.
You don't have to be in the wilderness to read it and enjoy it, but it's got content that pertains, Tracy, to a slightly slower and decompressed way of life in the country, rustic, rural, idyll space.
I think that everyone's going to love this because they've brought down the latest issue of Cabin magazine for everyone in our audience. So go ahead and read that and get your fix. Your outdoor fix. Let's move on to coastal life. Like, there's something about coastal life that feels very light and airy and fresh, and this is how you're doing it out in Cape Breton.
Do you know what, Tracy? When we bought our hotel over in Cape Breton, when we bought North Star, we completely transformed it, but it was super important for us that there was a nest within that space where we could be Colin and Justin take 3. And we've talked about our city and our cottage. This is even more pared back. This is on the Atlantic coast in the Maritimes. And the place that we bought had a little cabin down on the beach, which we've turned into Colin and Justin headquarters. So we live down there. But we have our woody kind of predilection satisfied via the cottage. So this time we painted everything white. Everything in there we painted white. And that gives us such a neutral backdrop against which we can add our blues and all the aquatones and all of those things. But it's all about understanding who you are and how you interact with your space. And it's funny, if Colin and I were asked to choose which we like best, we just couldn't answer that. Because they all give different things.
And they all sort of relate to where you are. So Colin and Justin want to help all of you create a beautiful living space. They put together a selection of Colin and Justin products for someone in our lucky audience. So someone's going to win all of these. And that's not all. We're also going to draw for $500, a $500 Winners HomeSense Marshalls gift card. So Christmas just got a little brighter. Let's go to break. We got more coming up. Stay with us. Coming up, the BroLaws are here with a flooring lesson, and it's do as I say, not as I do.
Do a little better job than I'm doing here.
Welcome back, everyone. Are you considering a change to wood floors? There is such a variety to choose from, whether it's budget, desired ambiance, or ease of installation. We have all the facts because we have the BroLaws. They know some stuff. They know a lot of stuff. So many flooring options, and you know, we talk about this on the show constantly because viewers are constantly asking us about them. It can be overwhelming. There's so much out there. So let's start with wood or imitation wood.
Yeah, it can be super overwhelming, and all of our clients, I kind of break down with them the different products there are and the different applications or spaces that they can be used in, right?
Yes.
Because you can't necessarily use every floor everywhere.
Right.
So we're going to start off with this one, which is a glue-down vinyl.
Okay.
So it's a 100% waterproof product. As you can see,
it's floppy.
Super floppy, right?
Yeah.
But this is a glue-down product, so it doesn't have any grooves on the side of it to click into place. Okay. So in order to hold it down, you apply some glue and push it down onto it.
So as far as a DIYer is concerned, you have to have a little bit of a skill with a trowel. So this is just like a tiling trowel, smaller notches for these, and you're going to be applying an adhesive or glue. Now this stuff is a little bit drippy, so this can get messy in a hurry. So take your time with it. Make sure you get a good even spread. This is going to be a full glue down. So
Joey, what kind of glue do you need to be using?
So it will be a floor adhesive. So that's important to see that it's just a floor adhesive.
Okay.
You're not using a mortar like you would for tile. It is strictly a glue that is going down. So we're going to spread this across. And then your boards do a little better job than I'm doing here, obviously.
It's a bit of a
it's hard to do it when it's like standing up. So we give you props for that.
And then your boards are going to go in and just press right in to that glue. Depending on how much you're doing, you may want to get a big roller just to roll that out, make sure it's nice and even. One of the big rules for this is the floor needs to be smooth. It doesn't necessarily need to be level. These are great for basements if you're doing a basement renovation because they'll follow the contour of a floor, but you certainly don't want it to have any bumps in it. So if you're doing it on top of a subfloor like this, run a sander over all the seams, smooth it all out. Because any of those little imperfections, like Dave said, these aren't going to click together. They're just going to sit down and smooth out. So if there's any little bumps, you're going to see that in these seams.
Where do we want to use something like that? What kind of rooms would you use that kind of flooring in?
So this type of flooring can be lower cost, and it can be great for like a basement or especially if you're doing a basement apartment or a live-in suite. That's one of the applications where we used it, where you're able to get it for $1 a square foot.
Wow.
So the cost was very, very low on it, and we just glued it down, push it down. Labor is obviously a little bit more by gluing, but you're still just sticking it down in place. So it's great for that, especially with the 100% waterproof factor to it, so you know it's going to be durable in a basement space.
Okay, and it just goes right on the subfloor.
That's it.
Okay.
And then it's also really easy to cut is the other thing.
Okay, good.
So for somebody who is trying to do it, you don't need power tools or anything like that. You simply use a knife and an edge, make a couple cuts across it, then you can flip it over and snap it. So you cut it off like that. So it's not messy. Other than the glue, that's the messy part. But cutting is easier.
So make sure you want to wait till that glue is a little bit tacky, you were saying before, so that it actually stays.
Exactly. So always read the labels on whatever adhesive that you buy because, a lot of them you want to trowel it out. You wait till it's kind of tacky, then it's going to actually stick the boards down in place.
Just like the false eyelashes, if anyone uses them. You wait till it's tacky and then you put them on.
Same here.
Same. Okay, what do we have next?
So here we have a couple different options as well. This is another vinyl, so it's another plastic through. So it's got a plastic bottom to it as well as a veneer top put onto it.
Okay,
So we've got that, and this clicks together.
Oh, nice.
So you're going to need a power saw to be able to cut it to your lengths.
Okay.
But it's got a little groove on one side. And you put it down, the other side goes on top, and you can take a little rubber mallet, tap, 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 tap.
That's satisfying.
And the seam goes away and the boards attach.
Oh, that looks
so
good.
You just want to make sure you're staggering your joints all the way around. Again, this is another waterproof product, so it could go into laundry rooms, basements. You could use it in a bathroom if you wanted to.
Okay,
And then we have a laminate click down flooring there as well. So
are these attached to the floor at all?
So the big difference here is it's not. This is a floating floor. So these are just clicking together to make a uniform floor, but it doesn't actually fasten to the subfloor, and that's why we always suggest these for DIYers because of the ease of install is so big. You're basically going to start up with your first board. A couple of quick pro tips here. Don't just start up against a wall and start working off of that. You want to make a measurement and then get a chalk line. Get a chalk line, stretch that out across, and you're going to snap a line where you're going to start. That'll be much straighter.
How you do that.
Boop. And that's going to give you a straight starting point. For your first board. Tack little screws right along your wall.
Yeah.
And that's going to be where you're going to build off of. And then you just simply click the next one in place. And it's in place.
I can imagine if you start with it a little bit off, then the whole thing is off.
Exactly.
Right.
It compounds.
So you got to make sure that first one is laid correctly.
Yeah. Take your time to mark it out to start, and then everything becomes easier.
Nice.
So the difference with this laminate is that it has an MDF core in it. So this is not water resistant. So you wouldn't want to use a product that has a core like that in bathrooms, laundry rooms, kitchens, anywhere, because if water does get, that's going to expand and those seams are going to start buckling up.
Gotcha.
You have a very wide range of price when it comes to laminates and with click vinyls as well.
Yeah.
You have kind of that mid-range that's more budget friendly. You can also get into a luxury vinyl. That's what we use in a lot of our high-end projects is a luxury vinyl. It goes down quickly. It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
You have the benefits of it being waterproof, but
Yes.
it's more of an imitation floor and it's more durable as well.
Is it any cheaper, luxury vinyl, than, let's say, you going with hardwood?
It'll be comparable. So as you get into those now, where you do save, and what we'll touch on next, is that install. Because of how fast it goes in, especially as contractors, we can get an entire floor laid in less than a day, where when we get into the hardwoods and engineered, it's a little different story.
It's serious stuff. So let's talk about the hardwood.
Yeah, so when you get into hardwood, we're now dealing with real wood.
Yeah.
We've got two different options. This is an engineered hardwood. So it has a plywood base to it and a thin layer of wood on top.
Got it.
So you still have the benefits of real wood. You can feel the texture of it. And you can get this in nice wide lengths as well.
Okay.
So it has a tongue and a groove to it as well. So it can click together, get nailed down. One with this width of board would usually have a glue assist with it. So you would have nails and glue along with that.
Beautiful.
Where hardwood, it's obviously going to be solid wood right throughout. One of your big benefits going there is you can sand it down and stain it different colors. If you want to switch the vibe, you don't necessarily have to pull up the whole floor. You can sand it down because it's solid wood the whole way through.
Got it.
But as we mentioned, where you pay the money is on the install because you need a few more power tools to put these in. So you've got that groove and the tongue like Dave talked about. Those are going to hook together. We're going to knock that in so that the seam's nice and tight, and then you're going to use a stapler or a floor nailer. And that is what's going to hold it in place.
Gotcha.
Solid.
Okay, so you're paying for the fact that it's solid wood all the way through and then the install.
Yes.
Yeah, and with hardwood, you have a few more options on how you want to lay it, too. Because you're nailing it down, you could do a herringbone pattern. You could add in borders. There's lots more you could do with that, where with the others, you're kind of limited to just straight lay the cross.
Yeah, okay, the herringbone, fancy schmancy. We were talking about that as my jacket. The little herringbone is so pretty. Very informative. Thank you so much. Let's go to break. More coming up. Stay with us. Good questions to ask. Coming up, what's shaking this holiday season? Tasty coffee cocktails. What's shaking?
Thank you, right?
Shaking.
We need some serious shaking here.
The festive season is on the horizon. It's time to immerse ourselves in Espresso's limited edition coffees and amp up our celebrations with some exclusive holiday accessories. Chef Matt Dean Pettit is here. We love that you're here. He's going to serve us up an unforgettable taste experience. So, Maddie, you're going to make 2 drinks today, and you're using this gorgeous Nespresso machine. It's the Virtuo Pop Plus. It is the smallest and most stylish one. Look at it. It's gorgeous. Does it come in other colors?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. It certainly does. It comes in 9 other colors. This might be my favorite. It matches my personality. Yeah. This is the spicy red.
You are a little spicy.
Thank you. And my little festive scarf here. And it also, second maybe, favorite color for me is the coconut white.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, so absolutely beautiful. And again, sleek, stylish, that can sit anywhere, the beautiful use of it. This can make as well 5 different type of coffees, both hot or cold. So super effective, very easy, like just a perfect gift during this holiday season. It's something that and I love to make cocktails, so here we go.
We love it. We love the coffee and we like the cocktails.
We
love the fact that it brews 5 different sizes of coffee. So whether you like it hot or you want it iced.
That's it.
You're going to show us how to make 2 different delicious coffee recipes today. And we're going to start with the Alpine Double Espresso Martini.
We are.
Okay.
Right? So
you can make it with alcohol or without alcohol. I bet you're going to be making it with.
I'm going to make it with in this case, base, but you know what? The versatility of this is beautiful.
Yes.
So there's so many different flavors that we talked about too. So I want to just say one thing is 3 different flavors. I'm going to be using here the Festive Black Double Espresso. As you mentioned, it is the Alpine Double Espresso Martini.
Beautiful.
But you can do the frosted caramel, beautiful nut flavor. You have, as mentioned, the Festive Black Double Espresso, and you also have the Seasonal Delight Spice. Like, think about that. Those are beautiful flavors. You can, you know, mix and mingle. You can put them in all different kinds of flavors, but we are going to be using the Double Espresso Black here. So, super simple. Let's have some fun. So, I've got my beautiful, can I say first off, making the Alpine Double Espresso Martini, we have, look at this beautiful glass.
These are gorgeous martini glasses, and you know what? You just feel a little bit elevated when you use them.
Well, we look at, like, we look the part right now. We could be at a holiday festive party. With that being said, this is the first time ever that Nespresso is actually retailing these as well. So you can get the glass. Yeah, they're selling them. So you can get the glass to match the perfect cocktail as you make it. So if you want to make this exact recipe, obviously you can now have the exact perfect glass.
Nice gift.
Thank you. Congratulations. You now know what I'm getting you for the holidays. Right? Okay, so here we go. So we're just going to lift up our machine, of course. We've got, so simple, so sleek. We're going to turn it to our setting. We've got a mug down below here. This is also the Nespresso mug that comes and available for sale as well. So again, if we're talking about, you know, the beautiful accoutrement that come. So again, this is a double espresso. So you're just under about 3 ounces.
Okay.
So a perfect amount. Set it, boom, here we go. So as that is going, we want to start getting the martini time. Do you like making cocktails?
I'm not great at making cocktails. I'm lazy. Okay. So I love that you're here with me because you're going to walk me through how to do this the pro way.
Don't be so hard on yourself, okay? Yeah. Because it's meant to be fun. We're in the Cityline kitchen. So a beautiful shaker. We have our little Nespresso shaker here. A little bit of ice. Look, you can see this beautiful, right?
Yeah,
this is just brewing here. I've actually quiet. It's beautiful. So this is happening here. I've actually made a little bit of beforehand, being TV. So I have my Nespresso Double Black going here, the Festive Double Black, going into our shaker. And what I want to do, we're going to build our body. So simple syrup. So simple syrup, which is equal parts sugar to water. We have the apple you mentioned. So we're making this one with a little bit of alcohol. Again, you can make this as well. Not alcohol. We're using apricot brandy.
Apricot brandy.
Apricot brandy. Yes.
That's going to be nice.
Thank you very much. And we are just going to give this a good...
See, I'm going to clean up for you, Chef.
Please do.
That'll be my little contribution.
Please do.
My regular contribution.
Can we get a little bit of cheers going on here? Like, let's go. So always the tough part is when sometimes it doesn't open in a restaurant. It's like, now open it. So again, we're going to just strain and pour. This is absolutely beautiful. Look at that color. We're not done yet.
Lovely.
Oh yeah, this is stunning.
More.
And there's more. So what I want to do is I'm going to take this. You could either rinse it, and you want to just take your milk, and now we're going to go back in. And we're going to do a quick little 1-2, if I don't mind here. Quick little ice cube in here.
Okay.
And we're just going to create a little bit of foam. And again, same situation. Cold foam. And
Which
we just
I hear all the kids are doing it.
Cold
Everybody's
foam.
adding
right?
cold foam.
If you're not cold foaming, so again, shake.
Yeah.
This is a good workout. I know you like a workout. Can you do that for me for a second?
I can, but we're almost down. We're down to like a minute and a half, my friend.
Perfect timing. Look at, I have it already here, ready to go. Right? So we're just spooning that. Thank you. That's giving you a workout. You're all set. Next, we're going to move over. We've got our ginger. You can either use like a fir or a little rosemary. We're just going to pop this here. Let's jump over for a second.
Okay.
Next up, into the hot drink.
You start the next martini while as soon as Danny's got her shot.
I think you should.
I'm going to try some of this.
So we're going here, same situation. So we have the Festive Black Espresso. I've already made it.
That's good.
We've already made this.
Yes.
So we're going to go right to the board and work here. This is super simple. We want to use the arancini. Here we go. We're going to put our cream into the Nespresso arancini.
Is that going to foam it up?
It is going to foam it up. So we are going to foam. We're going to put it to the macchiato latte setting, and we're just going to let that foam 45 seconds. If we can I give this back to you?
Oh my gosh, anytime.
Thank you. Yeah, right. Exactly.
I'll take that.
Please take that.
I'll take that.
So if you can see here, this is where the fun stuff. So we've got our coffee brewed. Yeah. We have this frothing. I want to get a little fun in the kitchen. Let's have fun with garnishes. So again, fir or a rosemary.
Yep.
We're just doing, if you can see this, We're just getting a great little brulee, a great little sort of toasting on this.
Just grab your blowtorch,
Do you know what
everyone,
this is called? This actually
be responsible, please.
So number 2, and it's important to say, this is the Mary Marshmallow Latte.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So if you missed it, that's what Maddie's making right now, a Mary Marshmallow Latte, which sounds delicious and is looking delicious.
It is absolutely stunning. We've also got more of our delicious little foam that we're just going to top up. Again, this is meant to be warm. It's meant to be delicious.
Nice.
We just want to sip that. Can you smell that little toasting going on?
Well, even the foam
Thank
really
you
does
very
it
much.
as well.
Look at this. If you want, you could, hit it with a little bit of, why don't we do a little fun at the end here?
Okay.
We've got half a second. A little Nespresso chocolate.
Oh, yes.
A little grater. Please have fun. Can we get a little cheer on this, by the way?
Add the real,
look at this
add the real chocolate, because that makes all the difference as well.
You have a cold drink, you have a beautiful hot drink. That is Nespresso at the holiday festive time.
Very nice. Okay, both are incredible, and they look so beautiful. Audience, we got something for you as well. You're all going to go home with a prize pack from Nespresso, and one lucky audience member will be winning an Nespresso festive bundle valued at $370. So thank you, Nespresso, for that. Yes, enjoy. We're going to break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Put it here, buddy. Thank you. Coming up, a viral DIY that will make you feel creative.
I'm telling you, honey, you feel like an artist when you're doing these. Like, see me in Paris.
Welcome back, everyone. Now, have you seen the chic and easy DIY plaster art that is like all over the social feeds? Here to show us just how accessible this craft can be, it's Monique Taylor-Yishu. She does it really well. So good. So this is a really fun and cheap DIY, Mo, and we are seeing it everywhere. You are doing these for what, under 25 bucks?
Yes.
25
Yes,
bucks.
and you could see these for like $300 to $600, honey.
Yes.
Yes, and these are the secrets here.
Okay, what are
So we have
those?
drywall plaster.
Okay.
And then we have this is a molding paste.
Oh,
a modeling paste, rather.
Modeling paste.
Modeling paste.
Okay.
So that's going to be what we're going to work with the first time, on the first one. So
Beautiful.
that's this piece right here. I had a canvas, got it from IKEA, kind of wanted to elevate it a little bit.
Yeah.
So we added our modeling paste at the bottom, painted it, and voila.
And this is the look. This is the look.
Yes.
So the lower third is plaster, and then you keep the art peeking out of the top.
Exactly. And so you can also upcycle, which is what we're going to be doing with this piece here.
So you've had this piece for a while, and you're like, it needs a little something, something.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
All right.
And so this is a thick paste.
Yeah.
But what I love about it is that it doesn't crack when it dries. So that's also the beauty of this as well.
Good.
So you just dollop a little bit on there like that.
All right.
And then you use your little scraper and you literally just spread it.
Can I go both sides like this,
You
or
can
is that
go
so
both
wrong?
sides.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. The beauty of it, it's supposed to be like that rough texture.
Oh, cool.
And you just keep on going.
Yeah.
And then you're done. When you're finished, you cover it up as much as you want to cover, and you're good. It takes about 1 to 3 hours to dry.
Yeah.
And then you're good. If you want to paint over it, you can do that as well.
So what you could do is you could pick one of those colors and make it at the bottom, or you can just do something completely, whatever you want, a beautiful pop.
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm telling you, honey, you feel like an artist when you're doing these. Like, see me in Paris. Okay. All right, so on to our next one.
Yes.
I actually really love this. I like to call this beauty in the chaos.
Okay.
And what you're using is craft paper. So craft paper that you normally get, craft store, dollar store.
Yeah.
And you are just crumpling it up. So I will let you do the
This is going to be very satisfying. I can tell already because that's such a good feeling.
Exactly.
But I want to actually show them the finished one behind you so they get a sense of what we're doing.
Right.
So that, if you can see the texture in that, that is the whole point of this. You crumple up the paper, you put it on the canvas, and then you can paint the whole thing out, and yes, you feel very artsy.
Yes, and so this is also using the modeling paste. I mixed it about a 1-to-1 ratio with some acrylic paint.
Okay.
Added a little bit of water, literally like a little capful of water.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily have to glue the paper on. I did just for extra security.
Good.
But you could do that. And then you mix it, and then I'll have you take the brush.
Okay.
And you can go ahead and paint.
Just going to move that
out the way. And so as you're doing that...
So I'm literally just going to paint the craft paper?
Yes.
And oh, okay. Yeah. Like just like this?
Just like that.
Okay.
Just like that. You keep going and going and going until it's covered. I suggest that you do 2 coats because the paper, as it dries, you'll see a little, a little bit of the brown peeking through.
Yeah.
So you can add, another layer of paint.
I mean, it's not exactly a smooth palette to be painted.
No.
Right? And I'm supposed to get into all of those little crevices, right? Like it's got to be completely painted over.
Right, and feel free to get messy and wild. It doesn't have any need to be like pretty strokes or whatnot.
Oh, I see. So I should just be going for it.
Exactly.
I would if I wasn't wearing this cute coat. I mean, if it wasn't the beautiful blazer, I would go ham on it.
Absolutely. And then as you can see, I have this actually mounted. So I have this frame here.
Yeah.
From IKEA. I just glued the canvas onto
I'm just going to show
frame
you what she did here.
To give it that extra elevation.
Very nice.
On there.
So it doesn't, you don't have to go out and buy in a very expensive frame. No. It's super lightweight and you're putting the canvas right on it, which is beautiful. Last but not least.
Last but not least, this is the very popular one, also very satisfying as well. So I've gone ahead and pre-prepped this. So this is what we're using, where we're using the drywall compound.
Okay.
And so you spread it, I'll get a thick layer on there.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna use this.
Ooh,
okay.
What are those?
So these are actually used with decorating cakes. I found these online for like $7.
Oh,
okay?
so smart.
Instead of using one of those tiling trowels, just use these.
Okay.
And all you have to do is you go to town.
Oh,
you
just go for it now?
Exactly.
So this is sort of the inspo for this. You can, if you can feel it, the texture is just beautiful on it.
Exactly.
So you make that using the icing.
Yes. And
is
then
it wet?
It is,
Oh, this feels good. Can you hold it for me?
Yes, absolutely.
And then I'm going to go like that.
Yes.
And then I'm going to go like that.
Look at that.
Look at that. Yeah, I feel pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel pretty cool.
I'm telling you.
And then you do like that.
Yep.
That.
And then you're good.
You figure out what you want to do, but you put like a pretty thick layer on there,
Exactly,
right?
exactly. And so with this being a thicker layer, it takes a little bit longer to dry. So I would suggest leaving this overnight, maybe for a couple of days as well.
Yeah.
And then if you want to, you could also paint over it.
Okay. This is a ton of fun. Yeah. I think that this is a great project that you can do, and honestly, so much less expensive than buying it. Monique, thank you for that.
No problem.
Let's go to break. We got more coming up. Stay with us. That was cool. Coming up, a candid conversation about masculinity.
How can you actually take a word like masculinity and apply it to so many people? It's going to mean different things to different people.
This is something we don't often get to talk about on the show, that big masculinity. But I don't often have 4 dudes on the show that we can talk about this with. So we're going to dive into a discussion with the BroLaws and Colin and Justin and explore topics like building community, providing support for each other, and rethinking masculinity for the modern age, the time we're in now. So Dave and Joey, you have a podcast. What's your podcast called?
The Real Dad Podcast.
Oh, RDP, is it? So on your podcast, you've been chatting about what it means to be a dad and how people are sort of looking at masculinity a bit different now than they did in the past. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so one of our last episodes, there was a new song that came out from Dax and Darius Rucker. Okay. And it's called How to Be a Man, or something around those lines. But the song conflicted me a lot in that there's a lot in the song that I identify with, but there's a lot that I'm working to want to change around the world of what it means to be a man and what it means to be masculine or whatever.
Give me a sense of what the things that you feel like you need to walk away from are.
Well, I feel like I live it's not that I want to walk away from as much as like the hurt that I see in the world right now and the hurt that I see in men. So it talks a lot about within the song like the struggles that we go through as men, whether it's being the provider, that you have to do it all on your own, and that you have to bear this burden and you're not allowed to feel. And that's something that what I want to do and what we do within our podcast is try to break that down and share our feelings. Joey's been doing therapy and we talk about that on the podcast, and it's just like men feel so burdened that you have to do it all on your own, and we want to break that shell of you don't have to do this on your own, and it doesn't have to generationally continue that line. Like let's stop that and involve a community around yourself where you can be vulnerable, to share and to have other people speak into your life.
That's right.
Yeah, we looked it up backstage, and masculinity, the definition is society's expectation of what it is to be a man. And I think that's something that's been blown up over the past couple of decades, and it's had to. Because it was just stuck in this, there's only one way to be a man. There's only one way to be a woman. There's only one way to be a person. It's like, no, there's a billion different ways to be an individual. So it's learning how to be accepting of yourself and accept that version of me, a man that I am, and be able to share that with the world without trying to be held down by their expectations.
That is
as
so
you put
cool.
a label on something. You know, and I think that's the problem. I mean, that's my issue with contemporary society, that there's a label for everything. And I think, you know what, just do you. Just do you. We're all different. You know, how can you actually take a word like masculinity and apply it to so many people? It's going to mean different things to different people. I think it's about you finding your truth, you know, and not being kind of like, I don't know, corralled into a field where you feel that you have to tick certain boxes to be a man. You know, and especially like being parents as well. You know, there's 2 moms, 2 dads. You know, parenting has changed totally. You know, and society's changed totally. And I think we just have to be much more accepting of other people, you know, for their plus points and their negative points. No one's perfect, you know. And I think as soon as you put a label on things, you automatically put pressure on yourself because you're thinking, okay, do I comply to that? Do people think I'm masculine enough? I'm a builder. Am I supposed to do certain things? You know, that's in your head. Let them worry about you. What people think about you is not your business.
But it's nice to think that it's in their head, Colin, but it's clearly not in their head because you talked about the things that you're dealing with and people's expectations of you. I think we're pretty lucky, Colin, because you and I have never, ever had to deal with any oppression. I really feel that. We've kind of championed our own way through life. Our existence has been designed by us, and we're the people that we are. And it doesn't matter what I've got in between my legs. You know, I'm a man, and I'm a 100% man. I'm completely and utterly respecting of somebody who considers their sexuality to be more fluid. Why shouldn't they? Do you know, I want to engage in a world where everybody can be the very best version of themselves. And you said, Colin, there are very many different types of division within our genders these days. And as much as I love the world in which I live, I also get frustrated when I see people, lovely gentlemen like you guys, talking about the struggle. And we haven't had that struggle. And sometimes I wish I'd had more of it, because then I could relate to it more, perhaps. But we've spent such a lovely time backstage with you boys chatting between segments today. And you're modern men. You're champions for other men, whichever version of manliness they find themselves within. It's a complicated world, you know. Do you imagine being 20 now? I mean, obviously I'm 30 now. So
I know, you're just 30. I mean, how are you navigating your 30s?
Exactly. And how old's the other one?
That's great.
I want to say that I just want to give you props for saying that you haven't had to deal with a lot of these issues. I think it's difficult for people to actually own that. That's okay if you haven't had to deal with it. And that's okay. What's important is that you hold space for other people
100%.
to go through that journey and recognize that their lived experiences might include struggle and might include challenges. I love that. You know, I really feel so terrible for men quite often when it comes to this burden of being the ones that can never show fear, the ones that have to be the providers. I don't feel like that's good for anyone. I don't feel like that's good for anyone that is in a relationship together. I remember Kat and Nat saying, you know, a lot of people look at us and they think what we do is silly. We had to wear the weight of our husbands being the sole income providers. Do you know how guilty you feel as the other partner in that relationship? You feel like you've got to do so much to live up to the fact that they are providing. It's not working for either of you. So it does work for some families. It doesn't work for a lot of families, and I don't feel like the burden should be on anyone's shoulders. So it's about opening up those conversations. And sharing. And sharing and sort of, I think, trailblazing a new path for what it can mean to be a man. So I want to talk a little bit about your situation going out east. I know you say you haven't been through a lot of challenges, but you went through challenges as business owners, and also a culture shift. There's got to be a culture shift going from a big city to a small town.
There is, you know, and obviously, you know, you're in a beautiful city like Toronto, which is truly multicultural.
Yeah.
You know, a wonderful cultural mosaic where everyone's tiles fit into a bigger picture.
Yeah.
I always like to think about this city. And then you go to a tiny, tiny village of 700 people in the extreme East Coast, and you think, okay, you know, how are people going to react to us?
Yeah.
You know, and it's just one of those weird things that you shouldn't have in your mind where you think, okay, you know, have they met a gay couple before? What are they going to say? How are they going to feel about it? You know what? It kind of really reinforced what we think. You don't have to ask for permission. Just be your best you.
Yeah.
You know, and don't think, okay, I'm not going to not talk to these people. Go and integrate with people. Bring them into your society and you become part of theirs. And I think that was the thing for us. I think we're always really open doors, you know. So if somebody knocks on our door and if they've got a bottle of rum or whatever, they can come in. Yeah.
Do you think that level of confidence helps you in that circumstance? Because I think some people who are wearing like a mask of what are they going to say back to me?
Yeah.
But if you're worried about how somebody's going to react, then you're almost anticipating them reacting that.
Yeah.
But where you guys, you're coming at it from a sense of like, this is who I am.
It's the curiosity and the openness, which is great.
The key word is, I think, conversation. We were always, as you said, Colin, we were always open doors policy.
Right.
And if there was something that somebody wanted to know about our lifestyle, then we'll happily talk about our lifestyle, because our lifestyle is just the Colin and Justin way. And when we got down to that beautiful little town, Lewisburg, we had to navigate, or we thought we'd have to navigate through lots of different kind of conversations. We didn't, because those people came to us without agenda. We arrived in their town without agenda, other than to take a formerly shuttered hotel and reinvent it for the betterment of the community, and altruistically as well. I mean, for the betterment of everybody, for our business and for the community. And it's been the perfect meeting of minds.
Right.
They have opened their doors to us, and they've allowed us to open our doors to them, and it's been joyous. It's been one of the best things that we've ever done going down there.
Nice. I feel like the link between both these stories, though, is this idea of all of us being interdependent. So I think the old school idea of masculinity is that every man is an island.
Right.
You do it yourself, you get it done, you put your head down and you get it done. You found a community out there, you open your arms to them, they open their arms to you.
Yeah, totally.
And you're creating a community where men can be really real about who they are in this moment in time.
Yeah.
So congratulations to all four of you.
Yeah,
Thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
And we're going to go to break. We got more coming up, everyone. Stay with us. It's time to join the party. We want to shower you with fun, prizes, and unbelievable surprises. Head to cityline.tv/tickets and see the show you love come to life. Cityline's experts can help you.
We're looking for suggestions.
What would you recommend?
What tips might you have?
With everything from decor dilemmas.
I'm wondering if you can help me with a sunken living room.
Fashion finds.
What to wear as the mother of the bride.
Fabulous food and so much more. You are in good hands. Send us your videos, pictures, and questions to submissions at cityline.tv or scan the code on your screen to get expert advice for real life.
Let me know. Thanks.
Home day. I got to give a lot of thanks to all of the guests that came out today. Colin was making fun of me because I called them all dudes. My dudes. But like Colin and Justin, I never get to see you. So I'm happy you're in town for a while.
Likewise.
It's great to have you here. The BroLaws, you're so genuine and you're always lead with your vulnerability. And I love that about you. I always have. So thank you for always bringing that to the show. Mo, your art, elite. So good. And Maddie makes a mean coffee cocktail there. Also, to all of our folks that watch Cityline at home today and every day, we love you, and I love all of you that come here in person. We come hang out, we take some photos, we dance. So thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow for Fashion Friday.